Today, I'm sharing an in-depth Canva tutorial for beginners. I'm going to show you everything you need to know to start designing your own graphics. Whether you're trying to spice up your YouTube and social media graphics, or you're trying to make your PowerPoints and marketing materials pop, you'll find that Canva offers a great variety of tools and it's free to use as well. After watching this video, you will know just how easy it is to design your own graphics in Canva. So, hi, I'm Matt Berry, and I've been doing IT and networking for years, but I have a very strong background in audio, visual, and graphic design, and those are one of the things I love sharing to help entrepreneurs and creatives utilize your technology to market yourselves. So one of the cool things is, like I said before, I've used Photoshop for years. Photoshop is super powerful, kind of pricey, but it can be overwhelming if you're not familiar with it. So one of the things I'm going to show you today about Canva is just how easy it is to get started. There's a pro version of it, but a majority of what I talk about today can be on the free version, and I'll explain that a little bit as I go on the video. So without further ado, let me switch over to Canva, and I'm going to start off at the home page. So if you go to canva.com, you'll see this. Just go to canva.com. We're going to start over here right up at the top. Now with Canva, once you create your free account, you'll be given an option to be able to do a free pro trial. I highly recommend that because there's going to be a few items on here that I'm going to show you that the pro is really helpful. But you can do a limited trial, and if pro is not what you want, you can still do a majority of this stuff with the free version. But starting at the top of Canva, you've got Design Spotlight, and this is going to show a few options of what they're really spotlighting on any type of designs. If you go to business, you'll see where you can invite a team templates, brand, we'll get into that a little bit later on, education. This is for helping you to design more that's specifically education related. If you're a teacher, trying to put together some case studies, criteria, any type of knowledge-based stuff. Shows the plans and pricing. Like I'd mentioned, there's a free version, which a majority of this, there's a good portion of the stuff that's free. Free is very powerful. However, there's some really cool features in Pro. Again, I highly recommend. This isn't sponsored at all. This is just a powerful tool that I just love to use, so I want to talk about it. And then Teams, if you are doing more than just a pro and you want to do it with a large organization and have your teams involved, if you're in education, you'll get a little bit more of a discount there. And if you're part of a nonprofit organization, they have a free version of the pro for those organizations. And honestly, if you're new to graphic design, or if you just want to kind of get up it a little bit, you can go to Design School. Canva has some really great tutorials. Go through design tools, talks a little bit about fonts, styles. It's super helpful, but you go from learning. There's a lot of nice articles that will help you along the way. Plus, with Canva, they update all the time. There's new features that pop up all over. So going to what's new keeps you abreast of some of the new features. Over at the top, you've got a Create Design button. I'll talk about that in a little bit. And then your account profile. Again, your account profile, if you sign up for a free account, you can hook it up to like your Facebook, your Google account, or just a username and password. And if you have somebody else that also has a pro account and you want to be part of their team, they can actually invite you to that. So that way you can collaborate on a team. You can get use of some of their pro features as well. So that is that part of it. We'll go down on the left-hand side. If you are part of, like, just an example, this one I'm on right now is my free one. However, if I want to utilize some Canva Pro, I have a Canva Pro account, and I've just invited this account to be able to collaborate, operate as a team, and to be able to use some of the features, the pro features, if I need to. So in order to do that, I just switch right over here, and then I'm connected. I have use of the templates and the pro account. So again, you have templates, you have projects. This is a good place for folder structures. If you're working with clients, if you have different social media campaigns going on, you can organize a lot of that and any of your media and stuff in projects. Simply like that. If you're on Pro as well, you have a brand kit. So this enables you, if you have different types of companies you're working with, clients, and you have specific brand requirements, like you have color palettes. If you have color palettes that you're using, you can specify that. Any type of logos, you can add that to brand logos. And if there's a specific type of font, it makes it nice and easy and consistent. As you're creating a lot of these designs, you can rely heavily on whichever brand kit that you set up. And again, if it's this is a great advantage of the Pro. Content manager is another thing you get with the Pro as well, especially if you're collaborating with a team. If you're setting up different social media calendar updates, anything that you want to post, you can add this on here as well and create events. Discover apps. There's a bunch of apps that go in here. I don't use all of them. Typically, when you come up with a situation, one of them I will mention though is QR code. So let's say you're gonna work with you're gonna design a business card or a flyer, and you want everybody that is looking at that or whatever to be able to go to a specific URL for marketing and whatnot. You can add a QR code. You'll put in the URL. It'll generate a QR code that you can add to whatever material you're using. So if you're printing it out, sending out a PDF, it'd have that QR code so they can just take a picture on their phone and direct it. So that's a super cool feature. If you're designing anything, like let's say you're designing a t-shirt, you've got a product, or you're just doing anything that you want to have a mock-up. So let's say, perfect example, a laptop that you wanted to put an image in, you could select one of those, and that has a frame in the laptop, the phone, whatever, where you could just drag and drop a photo. I'll show a little bit more about that later. But smart mock-ups, super fun, especially if you want to check out a product. Let's say if you have a t-shirt mock-up that you want to do, easy to do with that. If you have a Pro account and you want to invite additional members, you can have, with a Pro account, I believe you can have you can invite 4 additional members to be able to work on your team. So yeah, Pro account basically covers 5 people. And I believe it's under 120 a year. Yeah, that's about under $2 a person per month. So you can invite members there. And the other thing, launch Canva app. There's a Canva app as well. It's an app. They have an app for Mac. They have an app for Windows, and either one. This works very well. A majority of the functionality on the website is there as well. So as a matter of fact, I'm just going to go ahead and jump in right here. No, I take that back. Look at me, that thumbnail. So we're going to go back to home. Now, now we're ready to create a design. There's a few ways of doing that. You can go right up here to create design, and you can choose, there'll be some suggestions. A lot of them are ones that you've already done before. But if you have an idea, let's say I am working on a video, I'm doing a PowerPoint presentation, and I want to do graphics for that resolution, a Facebook post, I can just select it right there. If I was designing something that was a custom size, I could simply put that in there. If it was 1920 by 1080 for a video presentation, if you know the resolution, you can put it right there. However, if you don't know what you want to start with, you can go over here. There's a lot of things you might want to try. Canva will give you a lot of suggestions, whether you're working on a resume, an Instagram story, an infographic, whether you want to pull up a recent design you were working with, it's super easy. The other thing too is you can go up to what would you like to design. Let's say if you were working with you wanted to do not projects, but templates. If you wanted to do a Zoom virtual background, you can select that, and then it offers up a ton of templates that you can work with. We'll just go ahead and start with this. We're going to open this one. So let's say you did that. You had a virtual background of this. You could save this out, and then once you were in Zoom, you could just pop that back behind it. So whatever design that you're working with, I'm going to go ahead and start right up here at this top line. Now, any design you're working with, if you click onto File, you'll start up at the beginning with naming it. You can name it something specific for whatever this is. You can go and create a new design. Show rulers. This'll, if you want to be real specific and help line things out, you would enable your rulers. If you're looking to, you can show margins here as well. And let's say you're working with, with a newsletter or flyer, and you're going to send this out to a printing company to print this stuff out. You have the option to show your print bleed. So this will help once, like if you were to send this to an outside printer, they would use this bleed so they can print it off and they know where to cut. So there we go. But you've got your bleed, your rulers. That's how, and that's the thing. A lot of people won't use any of these, but that will help you out with that. You have the ability to find and replace text. Let's say you're working on a multi-page flyer, a brochure, and you wanted to find and replace text similar to Word. You'd use that feature here. If you wanted to switch to brand kit, like I was talking about, like a specific one, you could do that here. Save it to a specific folder. Resolved comments. If you are working with this with another team and someone else had comments on this design, this is where you would work with it here. If you're on Pro, you have a version history. So this will, if you have a bunch of changes and edits, you can click on version history. It is super helpful. If you just want to make a copy, or if you just want to go to download, and anything, even if you're on the website, if you decide that you just want to open this in the desktop app, if you have the desktop app, you can do that right from here. Moving on to the next, you have a resize option on the Pro feature. So let's say you're working on this and you realize that, you know what, this is not right. I need it to be 1920 by 1080. You could copy it and then, well, you could just go resize it. And then it'll automatically resize and adjust for whatever you need. If you needed it bigger, if you needed it smaller, the resize feature on Pro is super helpful. Here again is another description of what you might be working with. You can, and this is, you can change the name at any time, and this helps for saving it when you're saving it out. This is going to reflect the file name as well. And so up here in this area, if you wanted to actually share this design with others, you would just go ahead and type in their information and share that out. You can also copy this link and send it out, and that's where the next piece comes in. This is one of those things that you can also, honestly, Canva can be a money-making tool for you. By utilizing a lot of the free features and creating your own templates, like a newsletter, a flyer, business cards, whatever, you could create a template for that. Copy the link and then set up a shop on Etsy to sell those designs. And you can have them basically sell the designs, send them the Canva link, and it gives them the option to be able to get in there and edit. And if they wanted to utilize some pro features, they can. But that gives you the ability. And then right next to this gives you insights, which is more like analytics. If you actually sent that link or if you created a website and published it, the insights would be tracked for that specific project. And then the share button, honestly, this is share and download. So again, just like this feature right here, you have the ability to share the design, copy the link. If it's a specific template link, or if you're presenting this with somebody, or if you wanted to present and record, let's say you had a PDF of your newsletter or pamphlet or whatever, and you wanted to broadcast and present this to others, you can present it and record it at the same time, which works really well, or a viewer only link. But what you're primarily going to use with this is to download, and we'll walk through these options as well. The most common is going to be a JPEG. It's just a flat basic file for sharing. If you have an image, you're not overly worried about the quality, but you want to have a smaller file size to upload or share with others, JPEG is probably the best option for you. If you want a more detailed image, if you're using an image with a transparent background, PNG is the way to go. That is, honestly, is my preferred image method. I'll use PNG for everything. There's two types of PDFs. If you have a newsletter or a flyer, you can do PDF standard, which is just basic, super simple, lower resolution, easier for sharing, emailing or whatever. But if that PDF requires high resolution, you want that and you want to distribute it, sell it, whatever, then choose PDF print. It's the highest resolution. SVG, you're probably not going to worry about that all too much. It is a pro feature, but this is more for vector graphics. So if you had, a graphic that had a bunch of details of lines and everything else, you would know it when you need it. You'd choose SVG. And then then the last two, MP4 videos. If you're saving a video file, this has a video editing feature, which we'll talk about, and then a short GIF. So if you wanted to do a short little meme, do some animation and save that as a GIF, you have that option also. Going over to the left-hand side, we're going to talk about some of the things that you can actually throw into this. We'll go through elements. Now with elements, you've got lines, you've got graphics, you've got animated stickers, photos, and you'll find that there's certain features, certain graphics, stickers, photos, videos, whatever. Whenever it shows a crown next to it, it is a pro feature. So you could take a video like this, throw it in. Yeah, if you didn't use Pro, and if you export it out, it would have a watermark. But there's a lot of cool things. Find whatever you want, drag it, drop it. One of the things that I did for the thumbnail, I went through, and you can search up here for a lot of things. So I looked for a gradient for the background on the thumbnail that I did a little bit earlier. There's so many different gradients, graphics, whatever. And if you find something, here's a couple cool things too. If you find something that you like, you could click on the ellipsis right over here. It'll show you who designed it, what are some of the keywords for it, if there are any more like this. And every now and then, if there's something really good, it'll give you some magic suggestions like, hey, why don't you try this one? So here's a gradient. I just went ahead and just dropped this out in the background. I think for the thumbnail that I did, I just went through and flipped it horizontally. Now you can edit most of these images over here. You can go through and adjust the brightness if you need to, change the filters. There's all kinds of filters. You can add, all kinds of different things on here. If you need to change the color, the color's a little different. There'll be some options on here where you could change the colors of different things with the gradient. Or there'll be different elements that you can actually update. You can crop if you needed to crop any of this. We'll cancel that out. Again, I flipped it horizontally. If you wanted to do any kind of animate, Doesn't really work with a background, so I'll just go ahead and remove that animation. Up on the top as well, transparency. So if I wanted to make that a little bit more transparent, or lock the background. This means no matter what I do, nothing's going to change with this background. And then I can also delete it if I just didn't want to do anything with that. Uploads, super cool. You can take any file that you want. Let's go ahead and, I don't think, oh, here we go. There's one of Astra. Just to see how easily this is. Let's go to, boom, there's one of the ones I was using my headshot. So one cool feature that I'm just gonna point out, which is a pro feature that I use quite often, and that is to be able to remove the background. So let's say I've got a picture here of my dog Astra and Orbit, and I just want to remove the background and kind of utilize these pictures another way. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove background right here, do a little bit of work, and just like magic, Canva's pretty good with this. Anticipation. There it goes. I've got the ball over here. Let's say if I wanted, for Astra, if I wanted to erase the ball, I would just simply click erase. I could adjust the brush size if I need to, and you'll see how the little cursor, circle cursor will minimize. So I could just go through. I mean, if it looks normal, like I said, I could just go and drop that. But honestly, my dogs are used to being around ball. So I'm just going to go ahead and cancel that. Leave the ball right there. One feature we'll work on here is I'm just going to copy this. Let's see. I might have to do a background image again. However, let's see. So I'm just going to copy, and I'm going to take this, do a separate one. Now I'm going to paste, allow. There we go. Got to do this again. I could have done a screenshot and saved this out, but for time, I'm just going to just do this. There we go. All right, now I've got these guys separated. Now I've got them separated. No problems. So since I have two separate ones, I can easily just kind of move them around, manipulate any way, shape, or form. The next thing I'll do is I'll go ahead and bring me in, edit the image, remove the background. And when you're doing a live video, of course, it's going to take a little bit to remove the background. But hey, there I am. Now, one feature that you'll see on a lot of shots, or a lot of different, one that I used on the thumbnail video I did earlier, you can go to part of editing your video. You can add a shadow. All right, well, let's just go ahead and boom, edit video. Oh, come on, where's my shadow? I only do this like a ton. Here we go. I'm not doing that. How bizarre. The delay. All right, anyways, so another cool feature that I'll show as far as elements are frames. Just similar to mock-ups, if you wanted to throw anything into a circle, let's see, we'll take orbit and we'll just drop them right in. So when you have anything that's a frame, a circle frame, something like this, we'll go and put me in there. Anything, any frame. And the great thing, even if you mess anything up, you've got right up here, you've got undo and redo. Anything. Drop this out. Let me put orbit back. Hold on a second. There we go. I don't know why. It's so weird. I'm going to edit. I don't know where my shadow is. Shadow. There we go. So we're going to go to shadow, use. Oh, it's because I'm on a different account. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to choose glow. Now, if I go into glow options for orbit, I'm going to choose, you can choose any color you want, but I'm just going to choose white. Right now it's got a little bit of a blur and a lot of transparency. So I'm going to remove the transparency and increase the size. So with that, that enables, oh, look at that. I kind of advanced that a little bit too much. Hold on. Oh, that's how you get that. You go through, with glow, you'll have a nice little aura around. So I'm going to go like on mine. This will probably look a little different. So we'll go to glow, change that to white, remove the blur, increase the transparency, increase the size, and there we go. It gives you a little bit of a halo effect. You can apply that, and then here we go. Come on. I got a little delay. But anyway, so I can go through, I can take that, maybe, detach. Oh my God, that's just the funniest thing. When you do a live video, that's just what happens. All right, hold on a second. I'm just gonna do a new one. Hold on. We'll do a blank presentation. We'll go home. We're gonna go home. I'm gonna do a blank presentation. There we go. Elements. Throw that gradient in there. Spending more time on this than I'd wanted, but that's okay. Go to upload, drop this in, too much. Perfect. Edit image, go to background, apply, shadows, glow. Not saying that I need to glow. Reduce the blur, increase the transparency, or actually, yeah, reduce the transparency, increase the size, and we're going to change that. And you can change it to yellow if that's what you want, if that is what works for whatever image. Go through, you can drop that down like if it's in the corner so you don't have to worry about it. But then if you go to frame, you can drop that in. And also, if I were to save that out, I could put this in this background. As a matter of fact, let me do that. And go to uploads. I just did a screenshot of that. So let's go over here to screenshots. Let's pull this down. Crop it a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to take a frame. I'm going to take a frame, remove this background, and then just drop this in here. Obviously, it was not sized properly, but let's see. There we go. I just went through and kind of cropped it, moved it, adjusted it as need be. I thought. Close enough. Done. Okay, and yeah, again, let's go and put something in the background. Okay, so here's the thing. With any graphics program, everything works in layers. So up here at the top, you've got edit image, you've got flip, animate I'll show you in just a little bit, but position. So if we go to position, this is something that I'd want in the background and I want behind my picture. So I'm going to go over to position. I'm going to go to background. Now, similar, if I just put it in the background and now it's just behind. Drag that out a little bit more. The other useful thing with this as well is if we go down to the next option, which is text. So with text, you have the ability to add a header, add a subheader. Also, you can use your brand. This right here is using my branding kit. But if you wanted font combinations, something to make whatever it is pop a little bit more, you can go over here, coffee please. Let's say that's the one you want to use. You could just simply drag it, drop it, kind of rescale it as you need it, and get in and just update, change your text. So if you wanted to, so this is the one, this is the text that was for that little font template. But you can go into edit your text. You can either choose one that is part of your branding kit, anything that is specifically uploaded that you want to use. And then plus here are a list of the countless, endless fonts. And if it's something that's pro, they'll show you. So we'll just change that to the pro one, which is anchor bold. We'll change it all. We can also go through and change your font size. You can change it from that brown to, this will show some of the document colors. This is the colors of the photo. So it'll show you my brand colors. This one's for OMG, you were social. This is for healthy, fit, and positive. And over here, this will show you a breakdown of any photos that are part of it to help you match some of the colors. So this will work really well. So I'm going to choose purple. Choose purple for that. Move it down a little bit. But those color options are super helpful for you. Let's say you add another, any type of font that you want, or if you just want to drop a heading, drop a subheading, however. And then let's say all of these, see the workout stuff you want, the heading, the subtitles you want. But what you want to do is you want to line this up a little bit better. You could highlight those, go to position, and then you can choose middle, center, top, bottom, vertically. The best thing to do, honestly, though, is just tidy up. We're just going to move this up a little bit. I mean, obviously, that just doesn't work. But any of those, you have that where you can line things up specifically. Also, as you're working, it's hard to tell with the, I'll remove the background temporarily. But anything you work with, you'll realize that there are a lot of lines. So if I'm moving this workout, and if I wanted to line this up closer to the coffee text, as I start moving it around, there'll be a dot right above where it says coffee, please. It just helps you line things up a little bit, but it will have guides that help you along the way. And again, if you go through on file, you can choose your margins. That'll help you a little bit more. Let's go ahead and put back that background. Remove this. And another feature, and we're gonna go ahead and drop this frame. We're gonna do this. So, and then now that I've got this, well, I already have it centered in a frame, don't I? I don't need the frame. I already did that. But what I want to do is I want to put a halo behind this. So I'm going back to elements, and I'm just going to look for circle. Just going to pick a circle out. Anything will do. Put it right behind. And the other trick for this, I'm going to go to transparency. I'm going to make this a little less transparent, or a little bit more transparent, so I can see what I'm working with behind. So I'm going to drag this right over, maybe a little bit more than that logo. Line it up just a bit. And then, so now that I think I've got it lined up just about right, I'm going to position it behind. So now that looks like it's lined up pretty well. I'm going to change this color. I'm going to match it with this. Is that what I chose? I can't remember. Oh, there we go. I think that's it. And it doesn't have to be transparent. That's why it looks that way. There we go. So just with that, taking your picture, removing the background, throwing an image behind it, you could drop it in a frame and then put a circle behind it and create this halo effect. Now, also what I'm going to do on this one is you've got styles. Again, QR code. If you, I worked on this before, but let's say if I wanted to send everybody to elevatedawesomeness.com, it'll create a QR code, generate a QR code. Boom, you can pop it on there. I'm gonna get rid of that. I'm going to select these, group them together. That way I can resize them if I need to. There we go. And then let's see, we're gonna go over here. We're just gonna add a heading. God, I should have music playing in the background. The funny thing is, as I was doing this, is like as I was waiting for this live to start, I wanted to have some music, but I realized I'm sending this to Facebook. I'm also sending to YouTube, and I wasn't licensed for music everywhere. So I'm like, yep, I'm just not going to do it. I played a little bit of an intro at the end, but there we go. Matt Berry, YouTuber, and then I could put some other information over here and a QR code. And then I could pop that up on my phone. Somebody could take a picture of it and take you right to the website. But that's it. That's how you would do that. And also you could take this, honestly, something like this, where you take your photo behind any kind of background with a little bit of a halo. You can use that for your Instagram headshot, your YouTube, any type of your social media, Office 365. You can use that as your profile picture, your Zoom profile picture. It works. It's super handy. But one of the other things as well, as you go through the elements is probably some of the biggest things, and some of the things that you will notice more for the pro account and everything else. But if you're going here, if you're creating anything, you've got mock-ups that you can add in here. Here's a mock-up, right? Here's a mock-up we're going to throw in here. So the mock-up, come on. I cropped it out, didn't I? I did. So yeah, let's say you wanted to throw that YouTuber, and you take your upload. Well, I'm just going to drop. No. Is this a mock-up? It is not a mock-up. All right, let me go to the mock-ups. Sorry, guys. Elements, mock-up. Laptop mock-up. Come on. Oh, I don't think this one's framed properly. I'll have to work on that later. But anyways, I'll go through the mock-ups later. Bump. But that's it. And when you're ready for this type of design, all you have to do, when you're ready, you go to share, you go to download, and you choose whatever this is. If this is a PNG, if this is something you want to send a PDF, or whether it's in it, you select any one of these. Now, here's one trick. We're going to go through, we're going to delete this. We're going to delete that QR code, but we just want this. We just want, kind of weird when you're doing it on the fly. I'm going to take this image right here. I'm going to resize it to something pretty simple, like 300 by 300. We're just going to resize it. Okay, I can take this. Try and match it as much. And that's the thing, is like you go through and, hey, it's a square. So 300 by 300 honestly will work perfectly. So if I just want this circle, I want to save it, and I don't want any of this background information to show up, this is what I'm going to do. I'll do share, download. I will select PNG, and I'll choose transparent background. Now, one thing that you'll notice as well, under size, it shows 300 by 300. That is the resolution I set it up for. If you wanted to increase it, if you needed to, you could do it just from here. So you can increase the resolution. Instead of a 300 by 300 square, it would be saved as a 900 by 900 square. Higher resolution, larger file size, sometimes just not necessary. So we're going to leave it at 300 by 300. And instead of this being coffee, please, this is Matt's purple and orange head shot. Oh, wow, I spelled everything correctly. So we're going to go to share, download, and then transparent background. There we go. We just wait for it to download, and it is complete. Now, how to do that? Let's see. So we've got that now. So we're going to go to upload files and downloads. Matt, there we go. Boom. So let's say I go to elements. Let me find a cool photo to put behind there. Let's say ocean. There we go. I'll drag an ocean over there. I'll go to uploads, and I'll take this circular logo, drop it right there. So there you go. So unless I crop it, stop cropping it, Matt. Come on. Then you've got a perfect circular logo that has no transparent, or that has transparent corners. So you can use this for anything. You can take this and you can mock it up. You can put it in a corner. You can utilize it for other marketing materials. But that same concept works for anything. It really does. So that is super cool. One last thing I'm going to show you is video. If you have, we're going to go back home. We're taking it home, guys. And we're going to start a video. Let's say you wanted to work with a video. This gives you some really basic video editing tools. Super basic, super simple, but powerful at the same time. So what we're going to do is we are starting a new video, and you'll see we have different little sections where you can add clips, you can add audio. So we're just going to pick a couple. We're just going to drag and drop a couple things. So we're going to drag and drop this one, coming soon. It leaves, see right there, it leaves, this is a, it shows right down here that it's an 8-second clip. And it's just, and all this is just coming soon. Stay tuned, find out more. Had really great blah, 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 blah. So if that's cool, hey, you could even edit this too. If if you didn't want that whole text, you can add a heading. Well, actually here, we could just go over here. I can also drop this out, make it black so it kind of matches. Hold on a sec. Dropping this out. We're going to change that to black. Transparency, yep. And then we're going to position it forward. Perfect. Now we've, now on that whole clip, that rectangle will show up. I mean, granted, we can adjust this color if we really needed to. However, then we can go through and we can drop text. This text, we're just going to make sure it is white, and visit elevate. And I'm doing visit elevated office, but awesomeness. I don't know if I've got my elevated awesomeness website up and running. Go there and find out. If not, it's probably really old. There we go. Perfect. So you can throw that on there. And then that way, coming soon. I mean, just something basic, right? And then go back to elements. Let's go back to videos. Let's find something else. Hey, an aerial shot. We're going to drop that right in here. It'll throw a real nice aerial image. We can have drag and drop another one. So now let's say in this clip right here, you didn't want all that much, or you needed to cut a bit out, or you needed to throw some splashy text. So what we could do right here, we could right click in the middle of this clip here. We can split the page and it separates it. Pick another spot, split page. Now we've got a 2-second area that just, it's all seamless. But since I split that 2-second area up, I can go ahead and throw text. Let's pick something that glows a little bit. Did I drop that in? Make sure that, hold on a second. Come on. All right. It is just one of those things that doing the live is just going to go ahead and slow this thing down, I think. All right, let's undo. Split the clip again. Perfect. Go right over here. And then drop it. Come on. There we go. We'll just do huge sale. And huge sale isn't working. But anyways, yeah, you would drop anything in here. Like, let's find another element. Let's find, I'm not giving up on this. Hold on a second, guys. I know it's a little slow in here. Oh, wait, how about this? Let me do this. I'm just going to switch right over here. I'm going to go into video editing mode. We're going to do, right now, I'm on the, right now, I've switched to the actual app. So we're going to go back home, bringing it home again. We're going to do a video, a blank video. Let's see if this works better than the website. If at first you do not succeed, try. Try again. All right, perfect. Let's drop that aerial shot. Let's drop this one in here. That one's like 30 seconds. I've used that before. But we're going to go through and split the page here, split the page here, and then right over, we're going to go to text. We're going to go to glow. Perfect. And then we'll just do welcome. Probably drop the font down to maybe like 400 to 350 instead of 500 something, just like that. I will animate. You can choose the animation option here. And how about breathe? Breathe's kind of a good one. There we go. Perfect. So let's try that. So now I've split the clip. I was able to throw that text right there. So this text, this animated text, is only going to show up during that 3-second mark. That's how you wind up doing it in this basic one. So here we go. Da 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 da, ba da da da. Welcome. Then it just drops right on out. Back over to it, and then once this clip is done, it just drops over to the next. Bum, bum, ba-da. There we go. Now, the other cool feature is you've got, hey, let's try some of the, we'll go through and do, I don't know, we'll just pick something. Fixing You, you could just drop it right over here. And it'll do its best. This is the length of the song. You'll see the waveform here. And when you listen to it, I'm just going to give you a little bit of a clue. Once you do this, most of the time, the sound can be a little loud. So you would just adjust either the volume or some of the audio effects right here. You could adjust, you could split the audio. You could adjust the size of the audio. But one thing you really want to pay attention to is dropping the volume of it. And I'll just give you a little bit of a clip. We'll take that off. right before. I don't even know what this audio is. Welcome. Is it even showing up? I've got system audio going. Oh, I did drop it down. All right, we'll do this one more time. One more time. Oh yeah, you guys can hear it, but yeah, it's probably a little loud, right? So, but that's it. That's how you do it. And then once you're ready with this video, if you want to test it out, you do this. You go through and you save it. You click share, choose download, and then when you're downloading, the suggested one's an MP4 because that's what you're going to do. Because this is an MP4 video. You go through and you can select. Let's say you only wanted one clip. You only wanted page 1, page 2, and page 3, which is these first areas. You could just uncheck page 4, and all it's going to do is just do a short video of that clip with the welcome. That's it. We'll click download, and then it downloads, and that's it. So, boom, Canva tutorial. I went through a lot, but honestly, it's a super powerful utility, and it's one of those that you just really have to try out. You really, really do. So it's a super easy and powerful graphic design tool, super helpful and more power. Again, the alternative for this is using PowerPoint. PowerPoint is great, pricey, and can be a little intimidating to most. So Canva is a great basic way to start out and has a lot of advanced features. So that's it. I hope that you guys have tried Canva. If not, give it a shot. And is there anything that you've loved about it, or what's some of the favorite graphic designs that you love doing in Canva? That's about it. If you want to see any more videos like this is my first live tutorial, guys. A little nervous while I was doing it all, but hey, we can just mark it done. And, when you do something, it's a little bit easier next time. So if you want to see any more videos like this, just reach out. I would love to do more. And feel free. If you find my YouTube channel, I'll throw a description into Facebook, a link for that. Feel free to go there, subscribe, like this video. It was helpful. Everybody have an amazing day. Bye, guys.